Are you a person that struggles with bad habits? Do you find yourself constantly caught in the same negative patterns, unable to break free? Well, you are not alone. In today's message, I want to share with you 5 powerful ways to change your bad habits and transform your life. As a motivational speaker and personal development guru, I have witnessed countless individuals who have successfully turned their lives around by implementing these simple yet effective strategies. And I believe that by listening to this message, you too can make a positive change in your life. So grab a pen and paper and get ready to take some notes, because this is going to be a life-changing video. Are you ready to say goodbye to your bad habits and hello to a better version of yourself? Let's dive in. Starting with number 5, which is change your bad habits by surrounding yourself with positive influences. Now let me ask you this. Have you ever heard the saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with? Well, I am here to tell you that this statement holds a lot of truth. The people we surround ourselves with have a significant impact on our thoughts, actions, and ultimately, our habits. Think about it for a moment. Have you ever been in a situation where you were trying to quit a bad habit, but your friends or family members were not supportive? Maybe they even encouraged you to continue with that habit, making it even harder for you to break free from it. On the other hand, have you ever been around someone who is constantly positive, motivated, and focused on personal growth? Did you notice how their energy and mindset influenced you in a positive way? The truth is, the people we surround ourselves with can either lift us up or bring us down. And if we want to change our bad habits, we need to be intentional about who we allow into our inner circle. So let me share with you 3 reasons why surrounding yourself with positive influences is crucial for changing your bad habits. First and foremost, positive influences can provide us with support and accountability. When we are trying to break a bad habit, it can be challenging to do it alone. We may face moments of weakness or doubt, and having someone who believes in us and encourages us can make all the difference. Positive influences can also hold us accountable for our actions and help us stay on track towards our goals. They can remind us of why we want to change our habits and keep us motivated to keep going. Secondly, surrounding ourselves with positive influences can help us develop a growth mindset. A growth mindset is the belief that we can improve and develop ourselves through hard work and dedication. When we are around people who have a growth mindset, it can rub off on us. We start to see challenges as opportunities for growth, and we become more open to learning and trying new things. This mindset shift is crucial when it comes to changing our bad habits. Instead of seeing them as fixed and unchangeable, we start to believe that we have the power to change and improve ourselves. Lastly, positive influences can inspire us to be our best selves. Have you ever been around someone who radiates positivity and motivation? It's contagious, isn't it? When we surround ourselves with people who are constantly striving to be the best version of themselves, it can inspire us to do the same. We start to believe that we are capable of more, and we become more motivated to work on ourselves and our habits. Now, I want to be clear that surrounding ourselves with positive influences does not mean cutting out all the negative people in our lives. It's not about being exclusive or judgmental. Instead, it's about being intentional with who we spend our time with and making sure that we have a balance of positive and negative influences. We can still love and care for those who may not have the same mindset as us, but we need to be aware of how their energy and actions may be affecting us. So how can we surround ourselves with positive influences? First, we can seek out communities or groups of like-minded individuals who are also on a journey of personal growth. These can be in-person meetups, online forums, or even book clubs. Second, we can reach out to mentors or coaches who have achieved what we want to achieve and can guide us on our journey. And lastly, we can be intentional about the people we choose to spend our time with. We can choose to spend more time with those who uplift and inspire us, and limit our time with those who bring us down. Which leads us to the number 4 way to change your bad habits, by creating a plan. Now, I know what you're thinking. Jim, I've tried to change my habits before, but it never works. How is creating a plan going to make a difference? Well, let me tell you, my friends, a plan is like a roadmap. It gives you direction and guidance towards your desired destination. Without a plan, you are simply wandering aimlessly, hoping to stumble upon success. But with a plan, you have a clear path to follow, and that makes all the difference. So how do we create a plan to change our bad habits? Let me break it down for you. Step 1, identify your bad habits. The first step to changing your bad habits is to identify them. Take a moment to reflect on your daily routine and write down all the habits that you know are holding you back. It could be something as simple as hitting the snooze button every morning, or something more serious like smoking or overeating. Whatever it may be honest with yourself and make a list. Step 2, understand the root cause. Once you have identified your bad habits, it's time to dig deeper and understand why you have them in the first place. Our habits are often a result of our thoughts and beliefs. So ask yourself, what belief or thought is driving this habit? Is it a coping mechanism for stress? Is it a way to seek comfort? Understanding the root cause will help you address the underlying issue and make it easier to change the habit. Step 3, set a specific goal. Now that you know what habits you want to change and why you have them, it's time to set a specific goal. Your goal should be clear, measurable, and achievable. For example, instead of saying, I want to stop procrastinating, set a specific goal like, I will complete my work before 5 p.m. every day. This will give you a clear target to work towards and keep you motivated. Step 4, create a plan of action. This is the most crucial step in changing your bad habits. You need to create a plan of action that will help you achieve your goal. Write down the steps you need to take to change your habit. For example, if your goal is to stop smoking, your plan of action could include steps like finding a support group, replacing smoking with a healthier habit, and avoiding triggers that make you want to smoke. Having a plan in place will make it easier for you to stay on track and make progress. Step 5, stay committed and accountable. Changing habits is not an easy task. It requires dedication and consistency. So, it's important to stay committed to your goal and hold yourself accountable. One way to do this is by tracking your progress. Keep a journal or use a habit tracking app to monitor your daily actions. This will help you stay motivated and see how far you've come. Step 6, be patient and kind to yourself. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither are new habits. Changing habits takes time, and it's important to be patient with yourself. Don't beat yourself up if you slip up or have a bad day. Instead, be kind to yourself, and remember that it's all part of the process. Stay focused on your goal and keep moving forward. Which leads us to number 3, which is change your bad habits by replacing the habit with a positive activity. So many of us struggle with bad habits that hold us back from reaching our full potential. Whether it's procrastination, overeating, smoking, or any other destructive habit, we all have something we want to change. But the question is, how do we do it? The first step is to identify the bad habit that you want to change. This may seem obvious, but it's crucial to be specific. Instead of saying, I want to stop procrastinating, say, I want to stop scrolling through social media for hours instead of working on my goals. This will help you have a clear focus and a specific action to replace. Now, once you have identified your bad habit, it's time to replace it with a positive activity. The key here is to find something that will bring you joy and fulfillment. It could be a new hobby, a physical activity, or even a new skill you want to learn. The important thing is that it should be something that you genuinely enjoy doing. For example, if your bad habit is overeating, You could replace it with a physical activity like jogging or cycling. Not only will this help you burn calories, but it will also release endorphins, which will make you feel good and reduce your cravings for unhealthy food. Or if you want to stop procrastinating, you could replace it with a new hobby like painting or playing an instrument. These activities will not only be enjoyable, but they will also help you develop new skills and boost your creativity. Now, I know what some of you may be thinking, but Jim, I don't have time for a new activity. I'm already so busy with work and family. My answer to that is, make time. We all have the same 24 hours in a day, and it's up to us to prioritize and manage our time effectively. Instead of mindlessly scrolling through social media or watching TV, use that time to engage in a positive activity that will bring you closer to your goals. Another important aspect of replacing bad habits with positive activities is to have a strong why behind it. Ask yourself, why do I want to change this habit? What will it bring to my life? Having a strong reason will give you the motivation and determination to stick to your new positive activity. Maybe you want to be healthier for your family, or you want to improve your productivity to advance in your career. Whatever your reason may be, hold on to it and let it fuel your actions. Now, I want to address something that often holds us back from changing our bad habits, fear of failure. We are afraid to try something new because we fear that we may not be good at it. But let me tell you, failure is a part of the journey to success. We all have to start somewhere, and it's through trial and error that we learn and grow. So don't let fear stop you from replacing your bad habits with positive activities. Embrace the process and trust that with time and effort, you will see the results. Lastly, I want to remind you that changing bad habits is not a one-time thing. It's an ongoing process that requires consistency and dedication. Don't beat yourself up if you slip up and fall back into your old habits. Instead, acknowledge it, learn from it, and get back on track. Remember, it's not about being perfect, but about making progress every day. Which leads us to number 2, which is change your bad habits by setting a goal. Now, you may be wondering, what does setting a goal have to do with changing my bad habits? Well, my friends, let me tell you, setting a goal is like setting a destination for your life. It gives you a sense of direction and purpose. And when you have a clear goal in mind, it becomes easier to identify and eliminate the bad habits that are holding you back from achieving that goal. Let me give you an example. Imagine you have a goal to lose 20 pounds in the next 6 months. Now, if you have the habit of eating unhealthy food and not exercising regularly, do you think you will be able to achieve that goal? Of course not. In order to reach your goal, you will have to change your bad habits of eating unhealthy food and not exercising, and instead develop the habit of eating nutritious food and working out regularly. You see, setting a goal not only gives you a clear direction, but it also motivates you to take action. When you have a goal in mind, you are more likely to make conscious decisions that align with that goal. And when you consistently make those decisions, they eventually become habits. Now, let me share with you the 3 steps to effectively change your bad habits by setting a goal. Step 1, identify your goal. The first step is to identify your goal. What is it that you want to achieve? Is it to improve your health, advance in your career, or enhance your relationships? Whatever it may be, make sure it is a goal that truly excites and motivates you. It should be something that you are passionate about and willing to work hard for. Step 2, break it down into smaller goals. Once you have identified your main goal, the next step is to break it down into smaller, achievable goals. This will not only make your goal seem more attainable, but it will also help you track your progress and stay motivated. Going back to our previous example, if your main goal is to lose 20 pounds in 6 months, you can break it down into smaller goals of losing 3-4 pounds per month. This will make it easier for you to focus on one step at a time and celebrate your achievements along the way. Step 3, develop new habits. The final step is to develop new habits that align with your goal. This is where the real work begins. You must be willing to let go of your bad habits and replace them with new, positive ones. And remember, it takes time and effort to develop a new habit. So be patient with yourself and stay committed to your goal. Now, I want to share with you a powerful technique that will help you develop new habits more effectively. It is called the habit loop. The habit loop consists of 3 parts: the cue, the routine, and the reward. The cue is the trigger that reminds you to perform a certain behavior. The routine is the actual behavior, and the reward is the positive feeling you get after completing the behavior. Let's go back to our example of losing weight. The cue could be feeling hungry. The routine could be eating a healthy meal, and the reward could be the feeling of satisfaction and energy. By understanding and manipulating the habit loop, you can create new positive habits that will help you reach your goal. Which leads us to number 1, which is change your bad habits by identifying the habit. Now, you may be wondering, how do we identify our bad habits? The first step is to be honest with ourselves. We often tend to make excuses for our bad habits, blaming external factors or justifying them in some way. But the truth is, we are responsible for our habits, and only we can change them. So take a moment to reflect on your daily routine and identify the habits that are not serving you well. Once you have identified your bad habits, the next step is to understand why you have them. Our habits are a result of our thoughts, beliefs, and actions. For example, if you have the habit of procrastinating, it could be because you believe that you work better under pressure or that the task is too overwhelming. By understanding the root cause of your habits, you can start to challenge those beliefs and replace them with more positive ones. Now, here comes the most crucial step, which is to replace your bad habits with good ones. It's not enough to simply stop a bad habit. You need to replace it with a good one. Our brains are wired to seek pleasure and avoid pain. So if you try to eliminate a bad habit without replacing it with a good one, you will feel a void, and your brain will try to fill it with another bad habit. For example, if you have the habit of stress eating, instead of trying to stop it altogether, replace it with a healthier coping mechanism, like going for a walk or practicing deep breathing. Changing your habits takes time and effort. It's not something that can be done overnight. It requires discipline, consistency, and patience. As the saying goes, Rome wasn't built in a day, and the same goes for our habits. It takes small daily actions to create lasting change. So be patient with yourself and celebrate even the smallest victories. Another crucial aspect of changing your bad habits is accountability. It's easy to slip back into old habits when no one is watching. That's why it's essential to have someone or a group of people who can hold you accountable. It could be a friend, a family member, or a coach. Share your goals and progress with them, and they can provide you with the support and encouragement you need to stay on track. Lastly, I want to leave you with this thought. Our habits not only affect us, but also those around us. As a parent, your habits can influence your children's habits. As a leader, your habits can impact your team's habits. So by changing your bad habits, you are not only improving your life, but also the lives of those around you. Changing your bad habits starts with identifying the habit. Be honest with yourself. Understand the root cause, and replace your bad habits with good ones. It takes time, discipline, and accountability, but the results are worth it. Remember, you are in control of your habits, and by changing them, you can change your life. As I always say, motivation is what gets you started. Habit is what keeps you going. So let's make a habit of changing our bad habits and watch our lives transform for the better. Thank you.
Right here, right now.
This moment, this very second, is where your journey to success begins, not with steps taken or milestones achieved, but with the mindset you harbor within. You see, there's a profound power in acting, as if you're already there, in living your days as though the dreams you chase are already yours. This isn't about misleading yourself or dwelling in a fantasy. No, it's about cultivating the essence, the spirit, and the determination of the person you aspire to be. It's about embodying success long before it materializes, fostering an environment where your aspirations aren't just possibilities, but inevitabilities. So let me ask you, what are your dreams? What visions of success do you hold close to your heart? Think about them, not as distant stars in the night sky, unreachable and purely for admiration, but as destinations on your personal map waiting for your arrival. How would you carry yourself if you had already achieved your highest goals? What decisions would you make if you were already the person you strive to become? These aren't just rhetorical questions to ponder in silence. They are the very essence of the journey you embark upon today. In the words we share and the thoughts we explore together this morning, let's unravel the power of acting as if you're already there. Let's discover how this mindset can transform the ordinary into the extraordinary, turning the intangible. In the quest for success, the ground upon which all victories are built isn't made of mere wishes or fleeting dreams. It's constructed from the sturdiness of mindset, the unyielding belief that what one seeks is not only possible but inevitable. This belief, this certainty in one's own potential and destiny, is the cornerstone of every great achievement we've witnessed throughout history. Consider for a moment the tales of those who've walked before us, not as giants, but as ordinary beings with extraordinary conviction. There was a young artist, barely making ends meet, who pictured his paintings in the world's most prestigious galleries. Every stroke of his brush was laden with the certainty of his future acclaim. This belief did not stem from arrogance, but from a profound connection with his vision of success. His reality at that time did not reflect his dreams, but his mindset did. And as the days unfolded into years, his vision materialized. His art graced the walls he once dreamed of, not because the world changed its stance on him, but because he never altered his stance towards his dream. Then there's the story of a scientist who, despite numerous failures, believed unequivocally in her hypothesis. Each experiment, though ending in disappointment, was a step closer to validation in her eyes. Her peers saw failure. She saw progress. Her unshakable belief in her eventual success transformed her approach, her demeanor, and her resolve. When she finally made the breakthrough, it wasn't luck that people congratulated her for. It was her perseverance, fueled by a mindset anchored in the act as if principle. These stories illuminate not just the path, but the manner of walking it. Acting as if you're already where you want to be doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means aligning your mindset, your actions, and your reactions